Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jessica Harrington. Tonight on the Now Bakersfield, a major court case being decided in the Bay Area. We'll tell you how it's connected to a farmer from right here in Kern County. Also, one of the best coaches to roam the sidelines for Cal State Bakersfield being honored nationally. We'll tell you about an induction ceremony for Pat Douglas. That's all ahead on the Now Bakersfield. Kamasi?
Let's check out our lineup on the Now. More seniors than ever are filing for bankruptcy. So what's going on with all of this? We are talking to an expert about how to make sure this doesn't happen to you as you head into retirement. Meanwhile, more and more companies want to help their workers with their money. We're going to show you some of the services that they're offering now, like immediate pay and planning for bills. And 10 years after the housing crisis, a new crisis could be looming. Too many buyers and not enough homes. We are digging into that and getting some advice from people who want to jump into this hot housing market.
Well, any parent will tell you that sending their children off into the real world can be hard, but for parents with children experiencing physical and learning disabilities, independence is something that might seem impossible. Well, one program at Taft College is aimed at helping families who find themselves in that exact situation. The Now's Alyssa Flores tells us the success story of one of its most recent graduates. Alyssa?
Jessica, the Transition to Independent Living program at Taft College does just that. It teaches young adults with disabilities skills like grocery shopping, going to the bank, taking public transportation, helping them make that jump from relying on support to doing it all on their own. Frank Ozeta says for him, the program was life-changing.
We got a call saying that Frank was real sick, and we rushed back to the hospital. Come to find out that he couldn't breathe on his own.
Frank Ozeta's family says he's been taking them by surprise since the day he was born.
He was on life support for almost a year.
With challenges like his severe heart condition, tetralogy of Fallot.
We brought him home on life support. They said he would never breathe on his own.
At 4 years old, he had his third heart surgery. But less than a year later, he surprised his family again and his doctors when he learned to breathe on his own without the help of life support. Though his heart problems weren't cured, as he got older, his health complications continued with a diagnosis of DeGeorge syndrome.
It affects his ability to learn, to be whatever normal is.
DeGeorge is a defect in the 22nd chromosome, meaning Frank is limited intellectually, struggling to express himself. His family says at 27 years old, intellectually, Frank is where a 15-year-old might be.
I've come to the realization that children that are handicapped or disabled, we tend to put them to the side, but we need to take the time to find out what is it that they can do and build on that.
And Frank had the opportunity to do just that at Taft College's Transition to Independent Living program.
To be honest, I'm not very sure what I would be doing if it wasn't for them.
Since 1995, the 2-year TIL program has guided young adults like Frank into independence, taking students from living at home to dorm life at Taft College with the goal of students eventually living on their own, teaching them life skills like grocery shopping, cooking, taking public transportation, going to the bank, and job interview skills that Frank's family always worried he might not be able to do on his own.
That's why I wanted to go in the independent living program, so that I could prove to them and so that they won't have to worry.
Again, taking his family and himself by surprise. A recent graduate of the program, not only does Frank live on his own.
I have my own place there, 2-bedroom, kitchen, living room, office space. One more.
He's a month into his new job at the Boys and Girls Club.
I feel really grateful. And I was very excited when they called me to hire me.
Frank says after all the help he's received to get to where he is, it's been an opportunity to give back as well.
They're always coming up to me, asking for help, so it feels good to actually help the kids.
And a place allowing him to channel his passions.
Music and just electronics and all that stuff.
To me, this was like a dream job for him. He could be somewhere where he could do these things that he loves to do. He's always been very good with kids.
1, 2, 3, go.
A perfect fit for Frank and for the kids at the club too.
They don't know that there are any boundaries with Frankie other than there's this great guy who comes to work every day who cares very much about them and shows that to them every day.
Frank says he's excited to get to show the kids how much he loves music. He's going to get the chance to do some DJing for the boys and girls at the club. And he says next his goal is going to be to get his driver's license. If you know someone who could benefit from Taft College's Transition to Independent Living program, we're going to be posting more information about that on our website, turnto23.com. Jessica?
Alyssa, thanks for that. Now to the ongoing trial involving Monsanto, the company which produces Roundup weed killer. Closing arguments in that case are expected tomorrow. Monsanto is being accused of using chemicals in Roundup that allegedly cause cancer. The case brought on by a man named Dwayne Johnson, who claims exposure to chemicals in Roundup caused him to develop non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Johnson getting some celebrity backing in the case as rock star Neil Young and actress Daryl Hannah have attended proceedings. Monsanto's attorney taking center stage today as they rested their side. Closing arguments are expected tomorrow and possibly going into Wednesday. And if you remember, Monsanto also in the crosshairs of a Bakersfield resident. John Barton, a local farmer, is also suing Monsanto, saying Roundup led to his non-Hodgkin's lymphoma diagnosis in 2015. Barton and his attorney spoke to 23 ABC earlier this year. His attorney said he was confident Monsanto acted in a negligent manner and has shown reckless disregard toward life. At this point, Barton and his attorney are waiting for a court date before moving forward with their case. Well, he is one of the greatest basketball coaches to ever coach at Cal State Bakersfield, leading the Runners to an undefeated season and a national championship. Now, Coach Pat Douglas will be recognized as one of the best ever. Today, small college basketball announced Douglas will be inducted into the 2018 Hall of Fame class. While coaching in Division II with the Runners, Douglas finished with 257 wins and just 61 losses. He led the Runners to a perfect 33-0 season in 1992-93 as the team won its first ever national championship. Douglas was named Division II Coach of the Year 3 times while he was with the Runners. He will be enshrined into the Small College Basketball Hall of Fame in November in Missouri. Well, the new school year is upon us, and in some cases, students are already in session. For high school seniors thinking about their higher education, well, that's now going to take center stage. Just weeks after school in the Kern High School District begins, the annual college night will be taking place. Today, KHSD officials announcing the 19th annual college night will happen September 10th at the Rabobank Convention Center. Local high school students can take part, meeting with representatives from public and private schools from throughout the state and the country. Again, that's September 10th, beginning at 5. Kamasi?
This headline really caught our attention today. Older Americans are filing for bankruptcy more than ever. It's doubled in just the last 5 years. The Now's Annie Taylor talked to a bankruptcy judge to find out why this is happening, how to prevent it from happening to you.
We don't assume that because you've had a financial setback, you're not a good person.
Bankruptcy Judge William Lafferty says there's a stigma with filing for bankruptcy, but it's a lot more common than you think, especially as you get older. The biggest cause of bankruptcies, according to a recent CNBC report, are medical bills. And
insurance, no matter what kind of insurance one has, typically goes only so far. And when one actually has to start paying those expenses, they rack up very quickly. And it's an immediate game changer for most families.
Another large factor for seniors is losing a job.
It's probably a lot harder when you're 65 and you're not sure if you're going to have a job again. You're not sure if that promotion's as likely.
Whether you have or have not filed, Lafferty says we all have one thing in common.
It's unfortunately true across our society that people don't save enough.
Saving money is key, but if you have filed for bankruptcy and you're 65 and older, Lafferty says it's not the end of the road. You still get a fresh start. Your credit card debt and medical bills get wiped clean, and if you have a 401k, it's usually your retirement money that can't be touched and is yours to use.
There's an awful lot that's really good and very helpful and very hopeful that's built into our system.
For the Now, I'm Annie Taylor.
All right, thanks, Annie. Next in our lineup, we work to make a living. So should your employer help you spend that money wisely? A look at the new tool more and more companies are offering to help their employees with their bills. You're watching The Now. Another check of the Now News feed, a quick recap of some of the day's big stories. Pepsi's female CEO is out. She is stepping down after 12 years in the top job. Indra Nooyi will still be with Pepsi, but with her exit, it means fewer women are leading big companies. Women right now only make up about 5% of CEOs in Fortune 500 companies. Former First Lady Michelle Obama just announced a new effort to get more Americans registered to vote. She's going to be working with a nonpartisan organization, When We All Vote. They're going to have this big push next month to help mark the 53rd anniversary of the Voting Rights Act. And Robert Redford just announced he's ready to retire. In a new interview published today, Redford told Entertainment Weekly that his new movie, The Old Man and the Gun, is likely going to be his last. The Sundance Kid has been acting for nearly 60 years. We know Facebook already knows quite a bit about us, and now it wants your financial information too. Here's how it would work. It is considering a feature for a Facebook Messenger that would show your checking account balance and also offers fraud alerts. This is according to the Wall Street Journal. Banks could offer customer service through Messenger, but of course, privacy is the biggest question in all of this. This is coming just months after the Cambridge Analytica scandal with Facebook. Now, Facebook says it would not use the bank data for ad targeting, and it also wouldn't share it with third parties. Living from paycheck to paycheck is a struggle many can relate to. Annie Taylor is here to talk about this growing trend to help people make ends meet.
Yes, I mean, before, when you were strapped for money, Kamasi, normally you would just borrow the money, maybe even charge it, just not pay a bill or take out a high-interest payday loan. But now there are options, and one of them is actually going to your employer. More businesses are lending their employees money through flexible pay services. Walmart recently rolled out apps that allow its employees to get an advance on their next paycheck, up to half of what they make. It's free if you don't use it more than 8 times a year. So far, about 200,000 Walmart employees have taken advantage of this. And if your company's payroll is handled by Gusto, they just rolled out flexible pay features as an added benefit to more than 60,000 different businesses. And companies like Panda Express, McDonald's, Wendy's, even Outback, they also have given their employees earlier access to what they earn. The businesses that offer these services say it increases employee satisfaction, even job applications, and reduces turnover. Obviously, though, the downside is that people can start relying on this service. Using FlexPay and the financial counseling services that come with them is your best bet.
All right, getting a divorce takes a toll on our emotions and our finances, and we have some new information about that for you. Almost half of women surveyed by Worthy say that their divorce came with some major financial surprises. That includes not knowing about their marital debt, stuff like mortgage, credit cards, and student loans, and many women also thought child support payments would be higher. They didn't know health care insurance could be expensive, and some were even surprised by the cost of the divorce itself. So if you are headed for divorce, experts at NerdWallet suggest that you start preparing as soon as possible. That includes tracking household income and expenses. This is going to help with several of these concerns, including splitting the debt and determining child support payments. Don't make any major financial decisions just yet. In some cases, if you do that, it could be grounds for criminal charges and could end up with your spouse getting awarded for it. So it is best to wait. This also includes how you use your joint accounts. If you can't come to an agreement, it's best to get legally separated while the divorce is being finalized. An attorney can help dictate how to divvy up the money for the time being.
All right, well, taking a live look outside downtown Bakersfield. We felt a little cooler today, but seeing that layer just across the bottom of the screen, obviously the air quality not good, Allison.
Unfortunately, it's not good today, and it is only going to continue to worsen as we head into the rest of the week. Thankfully, temperatures topping off at 97 degrees today. So the 25-day heat wave officially ended on Sunday, and unfortunately, temperatures will be back to the triple digits starting tomorrow. That's all due to high pressure that is moving on in and dominating the region for the rest of the work week. So we did feel a nice breeze earlier today. We are looking at calming winds, though, just 12-mile-per-hour gusts up in the Kern River Valley and 35 in some of our desert cities. And unfortunately, that only brought more smoke into the county. So our air quality will be back to unhealthy for sensitive groups tomorrow with an AQI of 115. And now this air quality warning will be in effect until at least 5 p.m. tomorrow, but temperatures heating up quickly. There is an excessive heat warning in the the desert all day on Wednesday, and that could be extended through Thursday. They could see temperatures reaching up to 112 degrees. For us here in the valley, up to 106 on Thursday, and then temperatures will be dropping down to 101 by Monday, and then right back to the 90s as we begin next week. The Now Bakersfield will be right back.
Here's what's topping our newsfeed right now. Walmart wants to gobble up the competition when it comes to groceries. It's partnering with Gobble, that's a meal kit company, to sell prepackaged meals on Walmart.com. Your next Lyft ride could be in a new rental car. Avis is partnering with Lyft, and this really isn't a new concept. It's just a new partnership. For the drivers, it means fewer miles on their personal car, and for you, hopefully it means a clean new car coming to pick you up. And if you have MoviePass, check this out. Starting on August 15th, you'll only be allowed to see 3 movies a month. It used to be 1 movie a day, but the good news is it's not upping the price like it said it would. The subscription will stay at $9.99 a month. Neighborhoods all across America are at a crossroads. How do you grow and develop without abandoning the people who made communities so great in the first place? I traveled to Atlanta, where a group of women are facing that exact problem. They are putting up a fight against a new development and say we can all take a stand for what we believe.
I was just wondering.
This may look like a simple stroll down the street, but for these neighbors, there is purpose in every step.
Okay.
To fight.
I don't know. Did you sign our petition?
For what they feel.
I did.
Okay.
Is best for their neighborhood.
See, we want everybody to live over here, not just the millionaires to come in here and take it over.
One knock, one conversation.
There's going to be an update.
One signature.
To write your name.
At a time. Michelle Schreiner and Princess Wilson live in Atlanta's Old Fourth Ward neighborhood.
All these houses used to look alike.
It's a neighborhood Princess has seen change before her eyes.
When I was growing up, it was a predominantly African-American neighborhood. It was a black neighborhood. And everybody knew everybody that lived over here. It's going to be 21 stories high. We don't like the height.
But after a developer announced plans for a new condo building,
21 stories high.
Yes.
The two thought enough was enough. These are the lots where the condos would be built, between an older home and apartments. The developer's original plan was to build a 21-story property with 16 luxury condos, each selling for $1 million.
It was shocking.
Concerned about displacement and the value the building would bring to the community, the two wanted to do something but didn't know where to start.
It was asking what next and, who's going to step up, and then making that realization that, wait, I could be that person. And
Princess suggested a petition, and the two hit the pavement, getting the word out to neighbors.
It's your neighbor, Michelle.
They know the condo might still go up. Not everyone in the neighborhood is against it.
I want affordable housing. I just don't think that not allowing building is the way to do it. Because ultimately, the less we build, the more scarce homes are, the more prices go up.
Still, these two say it's not about winning or losing.
Even if it feels that big, what's that first step? Take it.
But not being afraid to enter the fight.
It's time for people to speak up, and it's for anything that's going on in our country today. You've got to speak up when something doesn't seem right or feel right to you.
So later this week, the city is going to make a decision on whether or not the area will be rezoned so that development could potentially go up. Finally, in our lineup, a new housing crisis could be looming. Too many buyers and not enough homes. So we are digging into that when the Now continues. A new problem is emerging. A lot of buyers and not enough affordable homes. The Now's Chris Welch with a look at what's behind this and some advice for people who want to buy.
The housing crisis of 2008 is still fresh on a lot of people's minds.
People are still skeptical.
But real estate broker Wesley Harden says that a decade later, the market is in a much better place.
There's obviously more consumer confidence. I think both what's going on in the White House right now, unemployment, and that people are feeling more confident to make a strong investment into real estate.
So people want to invest in real estate, but can they? Now the issue seems to be that many potential buyers aren't finding anything for them because they're being priced out of the market. Home prices continue to rise. This June, the median price for a home was $276,900, up from 263,300 last year, a 5.2% jump. And new home construction is at one of the lowest levels in decades.
One of the biggest reasons why they're not able to purchase right now is because there's just a lack of supply. And anytime there's a lack of supply, there's an increase in demand, and that's what makes prices go up.
He's noticing a lot of first-time buyers get stuck in bidding wars and then having to turn to their baby boomer parents to make a cash payment. Still others have given up altogether and gone back to renting, but even that comes with stress in 2018.
But at the same point, rents are at an all-time high as well. So you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
A far cry from the collapse of home values of a decade ago, but still not quite ideal for many Americans. Reporting for The Now, I'm Chris Welch.
Thanks, Chris. So here's a question. What is technology doing to our future generations? Kids growing up today really don't know life without smartphones or the internet. Well, tomorrow on The Now, we're taking a closer look at how that's being studied and what it could mean for parents of this young generation.
Coming up tonight on 23 ABC News at 11, we're still a few months away from the start of the season for your Bakersfield Condors, but you can start getting ready for the season this week. We'll tell you what's on tap and how you can score a free treat. Again, that's tonight on 23 ABC News at 11. As a hint, you will enjoy this free treat in our weather.
I know, exactly. We just have to get through this bad air quality. We will be back to unhealthy for sensitive groups tomorrow, but in honor of National Root Beer Float Day today, I tried to put ice cream in the background. But temperatures are heating up and quickly. 101 as a high tomorrow, up to 106 on Thursday. For us here in Bakersfield, the desert could be up to 112. So it is going to be hot, hazy, and very dry as we've seen some wildfires starting today and more continuing across the state.
That's right. If you still want to score a free root beer float, check out our website, turn to 23.com. That's going to do it for us here. We'll see you back here tonight for 23 ABC News at 11.